Imagine a future where cars fly, humans live on Mars, and you speak fluent Spanish. We can start with one of those at least. In today's video, we're gonna teach you 3 awesome ways to speak about the future in Spanish. Let's get to it. If you're looking to speak conversational Spanish, you're going to need to talk about the future. After all, you're going to want to make plans with your Spanish-speaking friends at some point, right? In this video, we're going to take a look at the 3 ways to use future tense. Firstly, we'll look at ir a, an infinitive verb, then simple future, before finishing with future perfect. These are super straightforward tenses that work in the same as their English counterparts. For example, ir a, an infinitive verb, I'm going to visit my grandparents. Then there's simple future, I will visit my grandparents. And then there's future perfect, I will have visited my grandparents. Now, if you dream of becoming a fluent Spanish speaker in the future, make sure to check out BaseLang.com, where you can get access to unlimited one-on-one Spanish classes with native speaking teachers via Zoom. All right, let's get to our first future tense. Ir a, an infinitive verb. First up, we're going to take a look at the easiest way to talk about the future in Spanish. Ir a, an infinitive verb. Ir a, an infinitive verb uses the same structure that English speakers use on a daily basis, going to and an action. For example, I'm going to visit my brother. Voy a visitar a mi hermano. In both English and Spanish, you'd use going to plus the action. Now, we're gonna let you in on a little secret. In most scenarios, you don't need to know any other future tense. You can simply use this structure, which we like to call the Voy A Hack, to speak in the future. This hack is easy to learn, can be used in almost every situation, and native speakers tend to prefer this combination. By using this I'm going to structure, you don't need to learn how to conjugate the action verbs. In other words, it's easier and faster to learn. To use the Voy A Hack, we simply conjugate the verb ir, to go, in the simple present tense with the preposition a and the action verb in its infinitive form. Ir a and infinitive verb. So, the structure looks like this. Voy a comer pizza esta noche. I'm going to eat pizza tonight. Voy a visitar España el próximo año. I'm going to visit Spain next year. Did you spot where going to and action is? That's right. We have voy a, going to, and the actions comer, eat, and visitar, visit. To finish off this technique, all we need to learn is the correct ir conjugation to match the personal pronoun. To go is ir a. Yo is voy a. Tú is vas a. Él, ella, and usted are va a. Nosotros is vamos a. Vosotros is vais a. Ustedes and ellos, ellas are van a. Here's some examples. Voy a viajar a España. I'm going to travel to Spain. Vamos a comprar una casa nueva. We're going to buy a new house. So, that is how we use ir a, an infinitive verb, to speak in future tense. For more on the Voy A Hack, check out our other video that goes into more detail. Next up, we have simple future. This tense is a little more complex, but important to learn as you look to become a more well-rounded Spanish speaker. Simple future is used to describe actions that will happen in the future without indicating a specific point in time. For example, in English, we might say, I will go out for dinner, or we will move to Europe. You can also use this tense to describe an intention or assumption related to the future, in addition to a promise or a declaration of certainty that an action will be completed. For example, we will go on vacation once I save enough money. Finally, you can use this tense to ask questions about future plans. Will we meet up tonight? So, how do we use simple future tense? The conjugation for simple future is relatively easy to remember, as the endings for ar, and ir verbs are all the same. We can use the verbs comprar, to buy, ver, to see, and abrir, to open as examples for ar, and ir in the table you see here. Let's run through comprar as an example. Pay attention to how the endings change. Yo compraré. Tú comprarás. Él or ella comprará. Usted comprará. Nosotros compraremos. Vosotros compraréis. Ustedes comprarán. Ellos or ella comprarán. For regular verbs, all you need to do is hook the ending onto the infinitive form of the verb. Used in a real sentence, it looks like this. El año que viene compraré una casa nueva. I will buy a new house next year. Irregular verbs in simple future. As always, there's a catch. Irregular verbs need to be treated differently. They have a different stem that you'll need to memorize. For example, él me dirá la verdad. He will tell me the truth. As you can see, it doesn't follow the regular conjugation rules. Luckily for you, we put some of the most commonly used irregular verbs into a handy table, which you can find in the link in the description below. Now, how do I choose between simple future or ir a, an infinitive verb? Before we look at our third and final future tense, how do you know when to use simple future or infinitive verb conjugations? Ir a, an infinitive verb, is more commonly used for most situations, but simple future normally refers to an action in the long term. So which is best? Luckily, there are plenty of times that you can use both. You can use both when a future action is certain, such as in Vamos a visitar a mis padres. We're going to visit my parents. Or visitaremos a mis padres. We will visit my parents. You can also use both when a future action is uncertain, as long as the sentence includes a phrase that expresses uncertainty, such as Creo que voy a ir al concierto este domingo. I think I'm going to go to the concert this Sunday. Or Creo que iré al concierto este domingo. I think I will go to the concert this Sunday. And there you have it. Before we get to our final future tense, why not hit that subscribe button right now in the present moment? Your future self will thank you. Now, on to our final future tense. Future perfect. Often overlooked, future perfect is the middle child of tenses that we mustn't leave out. Though it isn't as common as the first two tenses, it's important to understand how future perfect works so you can recognize when it's being used. Similar to its English counterpart, it's used to talk about actions that will be finished in a particular point in the future. For example, habré terminado la asignación el próximo mes. I will have finished the assignment by next month. Or you can also use it to indicate an action that we guess could have happened, but it's not certain it did happen. María no está en la oficina. Habrá salido más temprano. Maria is not in the office. She must have left earlier. So, how do we use future perfect? If you know how to use the present perfect tense, then this conjugation will be very familiar to you, as it also uses the auxiliary verb haber, plus the past participle of the main verb. Take a look at this table to see how it's done. You can find a full copy of this in the article in the description below. Now let's see some example sentences. La próxima semana ya habré vendido todos mis muebles. I will have sold all my furniture by next week. ¿Habrán cerrado la tienda? Will they have closed the store? Notice how haber has been conjugated with the main verb. Congratulations! You've just learned how to use 3 different types of future tense in Spanish. They were ir a, an infinitive verb, simple future, and future perfect. You can find more resources in the blog post linked in the description below, as well as some exercises to test out the knowledge you've just acquired. Why not give them a go? If you want to fast track your way to Spanish fluency, head over to BaseLang.com and schedule your first class with a live teacher today. With BaseLang, you can take unlimited one-on-one Spanish classes with native speaking teachers all via Zoom. Try your first week today for only $1. Now that you've learned future tense, why not take a trip to the past and learn about the 5 past tenses in Spanish in this video right here? Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next lesson.